Thank you, Dwayne. It's 9 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to our October the 7th meeting.
Yes, it is.
As always, if you would just take a couple of seconds and put your phone on silent, would be appreciated. And as always, we'll open up an invocation and then a pledge led by Will. So if you would, everyone, please stand. Father, Lord, thank you for another day you've given us, Lord. We just thank you for your praise and glory, Lord, that you have provided for us, Lord. Things that we take for granted, Lord, we know that it all comes from you. Father, we pray for our country, Lord. Pray for our leaders, Lord. Decisions that they make, Lord, is always good and pleasing in your sight. Father, we pray for Israel as well, Lord, as they continue to go through trying times, Lord. But most of all, we just thank you for who you are and what you do in our lives, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Will?
Yes, sir. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Lott?
Yes, Mr. President, you should have before you two sets of minutes, the September the 16th and the September the 30th board minutes. I would ask if there are no changes, the board please approve said minutes.
Are there any changes anyone would like to offer up? If not, do I have a motion for approval?
Move.
Motion Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Concerned citizens, we have Dr. Rosie Ann Riley. Yes, ma'am. Please come up to the podium and a couple of minutes. We'd appreciate it. If you would give us your name and address.
Okay. My name is Dr. Roseanne Riley. My address is 119 O.C. Hunter Road, Canton, Mississippi, 39046.
Need that over here.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We came today to discuss our park. We actually live out at that address, so the park that you all maintain is Fairview Community Park. And this is some of the neighbors. We all use the park every morning to work out. So I'm going to try to hurry up in 2 minutes. It's just basically pictures.
Okay.
So one of the concerns we have is our parking lot. The parking lot was repaid by Mr. Griffin, who is our district supervisor. And let me say this. Good morning, and thanks for letting me speak, letting us come today, and to the president and the supervisors and everybody. We appreciate it.
Right.
Glad to have you here.
So this problem started in September when school started back. The buses are driving in the parking lot. It's pretty thin pavement, and it was starting to tear up. So when Mr. Battle came out, I was like, Eric, the buses are coming through the parking lot. You remember that's why they had to repave it. You know, let's get the post back up so that we, our parking lot won't get torn up. So he talked to the people at the road. So I spoke to Mr. Drew. I don't know his last name. I've never met him. He's over Parks and Recreation, because the parking lot was getting worse. And that's how it is as of September the 26th. We spoke 2 or 3 times. I have the dates. Well, we didn't speak. I called. He never called me back on September the 17th. And then I had to text him on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. And especially when he sent Eric to take the post up that keeps the buses from coming through on the west end. Because I'm like, okay, the parking lot is being torn up. Why would the county need to repave the parking lot when this has been in place for years to keep the buses out? So this is as of yesterday. They took up the signs. Well, Mr. Battle had to take the signs up. So, and the other thing we just wanted to go over the other stuff, the walking trail. There are other things that we want, but since we had these couple of minutes, we just want to get it in. Pictures of the walking trail and how it's torn up. The park has been there 14, 15 years, and that's just a trail in Ridgeland. We're not telling you what to do. I'm just showing you. This is our grills. They're worn and torn. I took that yesterday. That's the table on the left when, 5 years, 2019 versus present. We need chemicals to clean. These are the swings. They're supposed to be bright yellow. I've been asking for 2 years to get new swing, replace them. We used to have a sandbox, thanks to Mr. Griffin, and kids used to come and play. This is the sandbox now. It's not being maintained. Thanks to Mr. Griffin again, we have a volleyball court, and on the left is when it was nice. Now, that's how it looks on the right. Nothing is being maintained. Those are our picnic tables, the garbage can. We have pets coming, which is a problem. It ran all the kids and the women that used to walk away. And now we don't have anybody in the park because everybody's afraid of dogs. And I just decided, I said, well, okay, since I'm complaining about, our park, let me just go look at the other parks. So I drove to Kearney in Flora. This is a picture of their parking lot. That's the tables, the trail. Their swings, like our swings, are in much better shape considering that they just swinging like from vines. That's the swing set. That is the stage, and the wood is rotting, which that's going to be a liability because people going on the stage and the wood is rotting. That's one of their grills. Then I went to Roger Park. That's their swing that has 3 swings on the swing set. That's one of their grills. The trail part of it need to be fixed. That's just debris. So what is our request? We'd like the parking lot repair. If the buses are allowed, appropriate pavement, walking trail repaved, table. Well, you all can read. I don't really have to read it to you. But anyway, so we're really upset because to me, it's just like your house. You have to maintain it. If you have something, now we're not asking that you do all this at once. We're just asking that the parks be maintained and every now and then just give a little money, to try to keep them up. But after I went to the other parks, I was kind of glad we was at the Fairview Park because at least the kids can swing at our park, not at Kearney. But this is my cousin, Tanya Ely. She wanted to speak on the dogs being allowed in the park.
I was just gonna say,
If you would,
please.
come and state
your
your
name.
name and give your address in 2 minutes, please.
Tanya Ely, 134 McDougal Road, Canton, Mississippi, 39046. I just wanted to reiterate, would you all please reconsider having the pets being allowed in the park? Because we had people from all the different communities, Harvey Crossing, Deerfield, Cedar Green, Bainbridge. They would come and bring their kids to the park and play, but with the dogs, they stopped coming. So what's the use of having a park if the kids and their families can't really use it due to the dogs? Everyone is not responsible dog owners, of course, we know that. And kids and dogs mixing together, that doesn't work out well all the time. So please reconsider that.
And this is Tanya Powell. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Powell. I reside at 123 Bracy Road, Kenton, Mississippi, 39046. I am a walker at the park, and I would like for you to please consider the exercise equipment. I'm also in agreement with Dr. Riley, along with Tanya Ely, about the no pets being allowed in the park. They're sometimes big dogs. I understood that, it's in a family area where they can get away from the leash. But we also want a no pets allowed sign. Also, and be in consideration of our park looking good, as well as Madison. If there's funds available, then I feel that we all should take a part in everything. Every park should be held up to standards. Our park, it kind of looks ridiculous now. We love our area. This is a growing community. We want to keep it safe. We want to keep it up to standards. No soap is in the restroom. We are ladies, also men. People come, they have family gatherings there. So the request of the soap dispensers, a drying unit, something to dry our hands, or a waste receptacle. So there are janitors, so please consider that, along with the exercise equipment, that we can continue to help our bodies, and so we can stay strong for ourselves, for our community, and our loved ones, and
Thank you,
get
ma'am.
our fair share. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much, and I also need to mention that Mr. Higginbotham did come out. I spoke to him. I first called him on September 26th, after they was taking the post up, and he did come out and look at the park, and I really appreciate that. I've had another issue, and he handled it really well, so he's definitely an asset. And like I said, we don't expect everything to be done at once. We don't even expect you to do what we want, but you have to know what we want. So, yeah, and we appreciate you letting us speak, and we just want our parks, all of them really, to be, kept up a little bit nicer. Thank you so much.
All right.
Any questions for me?
Yes, thank y'all ladies for bringing all these, items to our attention. We'll get, people started on that list, as quick as possible, especially at that parking lot. And do you have a hard copy of that list?
I didn't have a chance to print it, but I'll get it to you, yeah.
Yeah, just email it to me.
I email it to Mr. Higginbotham, okay.
All right, so we can go down that list. Just to say real quick on the bathroom, hopefully we'll get some type of soap containers in there, but I'm gonna leave it to Drew whether he want to put any type of paper towels in there, because folks are known to throw their hard paper towels into the commode, and then the next thing, you won't even be able to use the commode. But we will look at each and every one of those items.
Okay,
That school bus,
2 school buses.
2 school bus, is kind of hard, kind of tight for them to turn around in there. So if we can find another spot, we might ask them to go there, but if we can't, we might have to do something for the school buses. So we're gonna work on y'all list, and thank you again for coming out.
Oh, thank y'all
Ask a
so
question.
much. All right, have
Ask a question. Where was the school bus turning around before the park?
The school bus normally turns around in the road. What happened is, they did some utility work in the park. So they took the post up to allow the big, utility trucks. It's a new, construction next door to run the electricity. So when they saw the park open, they could get the buses through, they started coming. And that's why I asked Mr. Battle, I was like, will you please put these posts back up? And then it was 2 on each side, so that kind of kept them out. And then that's why I kind of got upset, because at least we had it on the west end, but what they was doing, they was coming in the east end and just turning around in the park. But they would either go to the dead end and turn around, or either they would turn around right there at the stop sign. So it's
Road wide together.
where it forks. And that's what they always did for 15, 20 years. And thanks to Mr. Griffin, because they had torn it up before, we had the parking lot repaved. So my thing is, let's not waste our taxpayers' dollars. Let's stop this problem right now. Let's just correct it, before it gets worse. And that's what I was doing when I called. I'm like, okay, it's getting bad. Let's try to do something. But yeah, that's it.
All right, I think we have the list.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I want to thank you too for showing the other parks. That list holds true for all 3 parks.
Yes, sir.
For some reason, the maintenance is not up to par. Swing sets are very crucial to be maintained, because those are our children in those dangerous swing sets. But I appreciate you coming, and we're going to get on that.
Okay, thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Greg, other concerned citizens?
Yes, sir. Next, or first name on my list is Josh Sims.
Okay, Josh?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Josh Sims, 523 Hunters Creek Circle, Madison, Mississippi. I know y'all are getting tired of me coming every meeting. Just following up from the last meeting with the Shady Acres Lane Road. I know Tim and Mike were getting together about a cost and whether or not it was going to be made public or private, or what was going on with that situation.
Tim, right there. Tim, you got an answer for us?
Well, I do. You could ask me to look at what it's going to cost to fix it, as to if we brought in gravel and made it a 16-foot wide road gravel versus making it a 16-foot wide paved road. If we were coming there with gravel, and we gravel everything with 4 inches of gravel, you're looking at about $10,000 to re-gravel that whole road. If you come in there and put a decent base down and then put 4 inches of asphalt on top of that, you're looking at around $30,000.
And what is it now?
Right now, it's,
Gravel.
yeah, it's
Dirt.
more dirt than anything.
Does that include the culvert?
I don't think we would go to the culvert either way. We don't need to go to the culvert either way to provide access to everybody out there.
Josh, is
Would-
that, I'm sorry, go
Would
ahead.
it provide access to him?
Yes. The culvert is about midway into his property. So providing access to his property doesn't mean we have to get to the culvert.
To the cover? Oh, okay, okay. Do that help you any?
It would, I'd still have to go through the neighbor's part of their road, that culvert. What I was told when I bought the property is that road goes all the way to where it dead ends into John Wilson's land. Now, I mean, if I have to replace the culvert, I'll replace it, but, you know, I mean, gravel would help something, because basically, once you go past the first house, it's nothing but dirt and washing away and everything else, so.
Tim, did we ever decide on whether that's a public road or a private road?
Well, it's one of those deals to where that goes back to Mike's opinion, and I'm going to try to interpret what Mike said the other day, which was that if after a certain amount of time we don't maintain it, it goes back to being private, and we haven't maintained it in that certain period of time. So on the records, it's still listed as public, but we haven't maintained it in 20 years plus, so by statute, it goes back to private. Is that pretty close?
Mike, is that where we are?
It was abandoned. Not.
I knew I'd get that wrong.
So what I said is that it's a public road, but as was stated earlier, it has been maintained, and there was an inference that it was abandoned. So it's still a public road. So if you want to improve it, then you can vote to do that. But my question was, if you spend public dollars bringing it back to standard after it was abandoned, you owe it to the public to decide if there's a public benefit. If there's one home there, I haven't seen it, but if there's one home there that needs access, that's your discretion. Use public dollars to upgrade the road. Depends on if there's a public benefit that would inure to the health and welfare of the public. So that's what I said then. That's what I'm saying now.
You know, Josh has been up here how many times? 5 times?
Roughly.
And we have been talking about this now for 2 or 3 months, and I was hoping that y'all would come with some kind of resolution. But it doesn't seem like we any further today
They were last time.
than we were a month and a half, 2 months ago. Did what now?
It's your discretion.
It's up to us.
Well, that's not what I just heard you say.
Well,
What I heard.
me too. I'm gonna make a
I
motion.
said it's you have to decide if it's a public benefit.
Yeah.
To use tax dollars to upgrade this road to benefit the public. That's what I said.
Okay, well, if we do that then, and if we do part of the road, what's gonna cause us, someone to come back up and say, hey, let's go and do 100% of the road? You know, put the culvert in and do the whole 9 yards.
Do it go that far?
If it's a benefit, to do the first part of the road, is it not a benefit to do the second part?
But the only landowner, I think that's west. West, yeah, the west of Mr. Sims' property is Mr. Wilson's property. Mr. Wilson has access off of, is that Old Canton?
12 Oaks and
Or-
North Oak County.
Yeah, North Oak, or, yeah, Old Canton. He doesn't want access off of that. He wants to from what I've have talked to him in the past, now, it has been a little while, and I can go back and verify that, but from what I understand, he doesn't want access from that direction.
Okay. And you say you was gonna make a motion?
Yep, to allow the, road department to use up to $10,000 on, putting dirt and gravel, ditching of that road.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, seconded, and
You want to make a limits?
do what now?
You want to make a limit? Or do you want to say the
By
full
width
road?
of the road?
No, I mean the length.
But it's gotta get his right.
However high for the $10,000 go.
Okay?
And
Is that for public benefit, though?
well, that's what I was gonna ask. What is the benefit?
That's been the motion.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
Allowing
not,
the public.
he's not the only landowner that's
That's
on
it.
that road.
Other landowners there.
There are other people.
I mean, the post office uses it daily. Energy was out there a month or two ago clearing some land with the power
Because
lines.
there's no gate in front of this that you have to
There's
have
no
a code.
gate, there's nothing. That's why
And there's
the
other
garbage
owned
trucks
property
use it
owners.
every day to go down the road. The mailboxes are not at the front of the road, they're in front of the houses. So, I mean, public services use it to go down there.
Do you have Tim, do you have a suggestion up to a certain point?
I would suggest up to the eastern boundary of his property. And I can get you that parcel number. I don't have it today. I had it
You got that, Ronnie? Up to the eastern boundary
of the parcel number that I will get you here momentarily.
Okay. Okay,
Do we have the benefit? The reason we doing this in the motion then.
for a number of other
Yeah.
citizens.
All right. Got a motion on the table. Got a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Josh.
gentlemen. Have a
right.
great day.
Thank you for your patience.
We were gonna put you on payroll, you came back up here another day.
Greg, other concern?
Yes, sir. There is one more. My best guess is the last name says White, but that may not. Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, please come up and state your name and give your address, please, in 2 minutes.
My name is John Howard Jackson, and my address is about 182 Hart Road. That is,
82 Hart Road.
yeah, it's happening. I'm having a lot of flooding problem down there.
Pull that back down.
I have a lot of flooding problem down there between, Turkey Creek, 182 Hart Road. So it needs some meter list because it's a disaster most of down there. And I would like to see y'all do me some help down there so I can live down there.
I'm trying to figure out where you at, Mr. Jackson.
We're from May Grove Church down there.
What now?
We're from May Grove Church. You know what Charlie Love's, Mr. Charlie Love property is on Hard Road on the south side coming into Rankin Road. Right down on the last two bridges.
Road on down there.
But then the last two, you come down from that's
Road.
Great Road, turn on Hard Road. I'm right down between them two creeks down there, and it's flooded down there like everything. Ever since they did those bridges way back on Rankin Road, it done got worse and worse, and the whole creek just flooded and everything. You get drowned down there. So I would like for y'all to do something for me if you can.
Ms. Griffin?
Khalid, you know where he is?
Yes, sir. Down in them double bridges before you get to Dam Pier down there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
There's deep ditches down through there.
Any thought of what we can do, if anything?
You talking to me?
Grass, can we spray the grass in it?
Well, we can take our side mower. We got one run. We can take that side mower and go out there and cut. Like I said, it's a deep ditch, but it's just the idea with the out channel. If the water gonna be able to go to the out channel. That's the big problem we have on our ditches. The water can sail on the road, but it can't go what we can't go to work at. So it's deep ditches on both sides. It's just that, yeah, where the water going out to.
Is the watershed project covering any of that, Carl? Can you recall?
Not sure. I saw Darren back there.
Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Jackson.
Now, the problem is that when the creek divide back there, the whole thing just flood. I'm talking about the whole thing for probably about it's a quarter of a mile, if not more. When they jump the creek off the curb, it cut it a lot on the side between my house. My land is in between all of that, and it's just really bad, really bad. The creek got to be cleaned out some.
We can you and Tim get together and go out there and look at that and see, maybe bring it back to us, what's going on, if there anything that we can do as a board?
I'm just gonna let you know idea so you know exactly where that. You know, when you heard Steve Watts,
Yes, the bridge right there.
They come right up from us, two bridges going up across Rankin Road.
But now, it's the last two bridges. It's the last one. I'm a good piece from, well,
Yeah.
it's what you call it.
Yeah. Talking about the last two on down there.
Two, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Cornelius, if you will, you
They
can
have-
Thank y'all very much.
I was gonna say, we may have some engineering information, when we was doing the watershed study. There may be some engineering information that we can use to, see exactly where the water's coming from, where it's trying to go, and see what we can do to keep it off hand.
Off the road.
Yeah.
Really.
Thank you,
All right,
Cornelius.
thank you.
Greg, any other
To the best of
concerns?
my knowledge, that's it.
Okay. Moving on, next is, that we have is, Robin Parker. Lauren? Y'all come on up and see.
I can speak first.
There you
All
go.
right.
Good morning, board.
Good morning.
Happy to say I'm about to be a homeowner in Madison County.
Good.
A couple of weeks, so.
All right.
Just wanted to give y'all a quick update. Robin asked me to come and, I spoke to her board a couple of weeks ago, talking about AWS and the workforce and things like that. And so she asked me to come tag team this with her. She's going to talk a little bit more about what the CMPDD is doing and the colleges are doing. But I just want to give you kind of an update from AWS. Construction is going well. They've actually got some walls up on the buildings here at the mega site. And then construction on the substations and the dirt work down at Casas is going well too. But what I wanted to tell you about was the workforce side of things. So we've had several of the managers who are kind of doing the onboarding of the workers, the folks who actually work in the facilities once they get there. And one of the things that they've said in this onboarding group, there's two from Florida, one from Oregon, one from Virginia, and there may be another one somewhere else. I'm not real sure. But most of the folks that they have hired have been from Madison County and the surrounding counties. And so one of the things that they've said is that our folks that they've hired have been very intelligent, very well educated, and it isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of opportunity. They just haven't been able to do what they're going to be able to do with AWS. And so one of the onboarders has told us that they've hired mainly men for these positions right now, but she said the guys who are doing these jobs that they've brought in, they've just had such a fire and an energy and such excitement for this position and this work that they're going to do. They've taken them around to different parts of the country to learn from the other facilities and things like that. And she said that she gets texts from the guys all the time of places that they've been, things that they're doing, and they're picking up the work really quickly. But it's just fun to see folks who love to do what they do. And that's one of the stories that they've told us about everybody that they've met in Mississippi and in Madison County, is that people here genuinely love what we do. We like to be in the community. We like to reach out and show hospitality to folks who are not from the state and from Madison County. And so they're really just having a good time being here. And so I just commend everything that this board is doing to make it welcome for AWS to be here and just kind of tell you those stories. A couple things that you should have in your email, and Robin's going to talk about this a little bit more, but this is a workforce training that's coming up. It's actually a paid internship. And then the other thing I want to tell you about is on our website, Makita's website, on our microsite, we actually have job postings not only for AWS, I'm sorry, Emily's handing this out as well. Job postings for AWS, but for all of our manufacturers as well as the construction companies that are doing hiring for the sites out at the mega site and at Costas.
Thank you.
While she's handing that out, is there anything I can answer for y'all? And if not,
People are employed at this point, Laura.
well, so I'm not sure how many AWS has. There's probably, I know there's somewhere around 600-700 construction workers out there, and that we're expecting in the next 2 to 4 weeks for that to grow to about 12 to 1,500. If you've been out to the mega site or driven by, you see there's tons of cars everywhere. And so a lot of those are Madison County folks, a lot of them are Rankin County, a lot of them are the surrounding counties, but then you also see some other out-of-state tags as well. So, but we've got a lot of folks locally working at the sites.
All right, is everything on schedule?
Yes, sir.
As far as
Yes,
building and-
Yeah. Weather's been really good, so the buildings are on point. All the utility stuff is going well, so right now what I've heard is the facilities will be open at the end of the first quarter, which is kind of what they were projected.
All right, okay, good.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lauren.
It's good to hear what they're doing. I'm Robin Parker. I'm the Workforce Director at Central Mississippi Planning and Development District. My address is 1020 Center Point Boulevard, Pearl, Mississippi, 39208. CMPDD, we're a local planning and development district, and we serve 7 counties, and we are housed in Pearl. We have been working really hard with AWS and Makita to work, and Holmes Community College on the workforce part of AWS. These are the different areas that we are starting to train people in. One is Power, Connect. A lot of fiber training is going to be needed. Build, you heard Larkin talk about the walls going up, and then once everything is in place, then we train people to operate. So far, we have 10 instructors certified to actually lead the fiber training. The fiber equipment should be in probably within 6 weeks, and then we'll start that training for people throughout the workforce area. We have 48 career coaches at 47 different school districts throughout the area, Central and Southwest Mississippi, and those coaches have been in some hands-on workshops with AWS to learn what are the jobs really like, so that they can help our high school students understand what's coming next. On November 5th, I know that's election day, but in the middle of the day on November 5th, we're going to host about 40 superintendents at Makita. We're going to take them on a tour of the mega site, and then AWS is going to come in and start teaching the superintendents the types of jobs that are going to be with AWS and with contractors. And then we're going to roll down to the administrators and then the counselors. And the thing that I really wanted to share with you today is the I2PA pre-apprenticeship program. It's our first official AWS training. It starts November the 5th at Holmes Community College. November the 4th at Holmes Community College. You have a flyer with a QR code that you can scan to get all of the information. But let me just kind of tell you a little bit about this pre-apprenticeship program. It starts, right now we're in the marketing and the recruitment period of this apprenticeship program. And that's really why I'm here today, because we have about 2 more weeks to gather applications from people who are interested. Starting November 4th, the first week of training, it's going to be a lot about the culture of AWS and some safety training. And then we go into 3 weeks of training where they learn about each of those areas: Power, Build, Connect, and Operate. The piece that, let me go ahead and get everything up, that 4 weeks of training, that is actually a pre-apprenticeship program. If people participate in that program, then they are paid a $19.75 an hour stipend. The idea is that people won't quit their full-time jobs, and they need some income coming in while they're going through training, and so AWS is going to pay them $19.75 an hour to go through training. After the 4 weeks of training, we'll have a graduation ceremony, but then we'll also have AWS and contractors there to actually do a hiring event for the people who go through training. People can either choose to go straight to work for a contractor or AWS, or in January, we're actually starting more training, very focused training, and it will be housed at Holmes Community College, Hines Community College, and Build Mississippi, which is formerly known as the Mississippi Construction Education Foundation. And that is 8-week training. So if they go through this pre-apprenticeship program and they decide, I like the electrical component, then they'll have another 8 weeks of training where they're continued to pay a stipend, and they'll learn more about electrical work, and then they will go to work with an electrical contractor afterwards. So that's kind of the model of training that we will be having. And so what we really need your help in is to share that information with the communities that you serve. Let them know that this is a great opportunity for them and for their families, and this is how they can actually get trained to go into the jobs at AWS. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, we are, at CMPD, we have a local workforce development plan. We develop a new plan every 4 years, and so I'm going to all of our counties and letting them know that at this website you can go and see the plan. The major changes is that we have added the information infrastructure training as a priority sector just because of what's going on in Madison County. But we also, and I don't know why my PowerPoint just quit for some reason. We also are rethinking our Win Job Center delivery method. We learned in COVID that people will do virtual stuff and they really don't want to come to a center all the time. But we also know there's a population of people that need that center and they need that access. And so our current Madison Win Job Center, the lease is running up at the end of November, and we are partnering with Holmes Community College to see if we can move that center to the college where workforce actually happens. So it will be a scaled down center, but it will have access for people who do not have access to technology, and then there'll be an adult career coach there to help them navigate through the workforce system. So I wanted to share both of those opportunities with y'all and see if y'all have any questions.
And it sounds like a great program, well, it is, but also as far as the move, I think the move is probably very positive as well to get closer, you know, to homes. And
to a higher traffic area.
That's it. And you say the lease is out end of October?
The end of November.
Lease?
The end of November.
November.
End of
Okay.
November, yes.
And so I guess y'all have already talked with Homes.
We're working with Homes right now. We've identified some space. It will take, there will be a gap in service, but we're navigating that to make sure that people are still served. So it should be about mid-spring whenever the new center is up and running.
Okay.
They said they got 2 more weeks for them to apply for a job.
Yes, 2 more weeks to apply for the training that will lead to a job.
Right.
Yes, sir.
The training, is there, I know you might have it here, but I hadn't scanned it. Is there the qualification for an individual to get this training?
There is an application process, but they really, a priority of Amazon is to serve those who need the most opportunity. And so they've tried this at other communities in Virginia and in Ohio, and most of those people had high school diplomas. They did have some that did not have a high school diploma. That's something we would definitely want to work with them to obtain eventually, but it's really open to whoever wants the opportunity.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Great. Thank y'all.
Thank you for the update. Okay, next is the consent items. Anyone like to remove anything, any item off the consent items? If not, do I have a motion for approval?
Thank you. Motion to approve.
Got a motion, Supervisor Griffin, I'll second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Supervisor Griffin?
Oh, okay.
Appointment.
I want to appoint, where'd she go?
Rita Brown.
Frida, I lost my spot here. Frida Brown to the Camden Volunteer Fire Department.
Got a motion on the floor, got a second, Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Tim?
First item I have is task order number 12 under the General Services Agreement with Integrated Right-of-Way. This is a task order for $14,950 to do the right-of-way acquisition services for the Loring Road Bridge Replacement Project, which is a state aid bridge replacement project.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion Supervisor Griffin.
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
All right, next item I have is a request for the county engineer to be granted permission to be listed as the county's contact, and Jennifer Ziegler with Neil Shaver to be listed as the county's agent on Form 71003, which is a form that is submitted with Section 404 permit to Corps of Engineers as part of the Yandell Road Improvements Project.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion Supervisor Griffin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. Is this for the new part, new section?
This is
or
for the
this
three laning.
For the three lane?
Right.
Yeah, okay. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Item 52.
All right. This is a two-parter, I guess. First is, did you put the acknowledgement?
It's attached to it.
Okay, all right. First is to acknowledge a letter sent by state aid closing a bridge over Rambo Creek on Rocky Hill Road.
All right, do I have a motion to acknowledge that letter?
Motion.
Motion Supervisor Griffin, second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
All right, next is permission to advertise to replace that bridge on Rocky Hill Road over Rambo Creek.
Do I have a motion to advertise?
Motion.
Motion Supervisor Griffin, I'll second, discussion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed?
All right, next item is a request to advertise for construction of a traffic signal at the intersection of Reunion Parkway and Parkway East.
Motion.
Got a motion Supervisor Baxter, do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, and if could, I would like to remove item 54 and 55 from the agenda.
You like to remove them?
Yes, we'll present them next time.
Consider them removed.
All right.
Okay, we'll just take it up next board meeting then. Thank you.
Tim,
Yes, sir.
before you go, since we finished with District 5,
Those were.
the Calhoun Station between Sour Road and Lakeshire Parkway, they have some issues there with the, I guess, bunch of potholes. I see the road manager over there, so I've just mentioned it to you so you can check it out, so you can tell him, and you can get that taken care of for me.
Okay, between Sowell and Lakeshire Parkway.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll check on that. I'm not sure all of that is ours, but we will check.
Yeah,
on that.
that's the whole question. Gluckstadt has a responsibility in there, I believe, but the gentleman talked to me before about it, and I told him that I think it's inside the city limits of Gluckstadt. And he said, well, Gluckstadt, I don't know, they're not unable to do it, but we need to see if we can get some patching done in there.
Okay, all right. We'll take a look at it, and if I need to, I can coordinate with City of Gluckstadt.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Tim, also, Highway 51 and
Green Oak,
Green Oak.
I believe it is open.
It is open. It looks good, and I guess the final payment will come here pretty soon.
They are doing a repair. They had a little issue, and so it is open, I guess, I wouldn't say temporarily, but it's open, and they're going to do some more work to it, and then it'll be permanently open. But it is open right now. You're right.
And Phase 3 is still on schedule to be open this year.
Yes. They hung beams over the railroad track this past week, and so they're going to be building the deck on that bridge very soon.
Great.
And that's pretty much all that's left on that phase.
Right. Okay, that's good progress made.
All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Weeks?
Morning, Board.
Morning.
First item I have is to approve the draft minutes for Planning and Zoning, September 12th, 2024.
I have a motion Supervisor Griffith, I'll second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Next item is James Clay. It was a rezoning from C2 to A1. It's located on the northeast corner of Highway 43 and Sharon Road, Supervisor District 5, approved by P&Z 9/12/2024.
Do I have a motion?
And he said he's intending to put a mobile home there, Scott?
Yes, Miss Williamson obtained the property, so she's done the rest of it. She's here, and yes, she intends to
Miss
make the
Williams,
mobile home. Yes.
are you looking to put your driveway on 43 or Sharon Road?
43.
On 43? Cause you sitting right at the property intersect 43 and Sharon Road, if I'm looking at it right. Am I right, Scott?
Correct.
So what I'm gonna remind you, be careful on where you putting your driveway, because it's, you know, that curve.
Dangerous curve, right?
Yes. So you might need to look at maybe having it on Sharon Road.
No, Sharon Road, okay.
All right. Motion to approve.
Got a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Next item, LLB Farms LLC, rezoning A1 to I2 is located on Verlilia Road, Supervisor District 4, approved by P&Z 9/12/2024.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed.
Next item is Charles Bennett. This was a zoning violation back from June. He has failed to not properly clean up that property. It's on Hawkins Thompson Lane, and authorize the board to find that property in a state of uncleanliness and authorize the road department to clean the property.
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Griffin, and have we not already authorized this and we just gave him 90 days to clean it?
That's correct. I was just making sure the board would vote on the proper cleaning up of the property.
Okay.
All right, just so for my clarification, if the road department goes in there and cleans it, is that do we send a bill to the homeowner? Is it a lien against the property?
It goes on their taxes. So the cost of the cleanup, I think there's a cap on it that we can charge. Don't take my word for it, but I think it's like $20,000 is the max.
So until he redeems that $20,000, he can't pay his taxes.
Correct.
Which means he would lose his property.
That would be on his tax bill, correct.
He wouldn't lose it, then you gotta pay his taxes, his owner's taxes.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with how the county works on that setup, so that's just clarification for myself.
I think that's just the way the government works, but Mike, we would like to know what the total dollar amount is. If you can just look that up, maybe let us all know, because it's always good to know the total amount that the county can recoup, I suppose.
Yeah, and most people go ahead and clean up their property, but there's some out there that don't do it. And so I don't really feel sorry for them, because we give them the opportunity to do it.
I'm not
right
judging one way or the other. I just wanted to know how that worked, because I didn't want the county to be out
I understand.
grand and cleaning up somebody's personal property.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion on the table, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Last item is a preliminary plat for Millbridge of Caroline. This was previously approved in 6/15/22. That has expired, and they're wanting to move forward at this point.
Motion.
Got a motion Supervisor Baxter. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed.
All have.
All right, thank you, Scott. Mike? Okay. Greg?
I do have one very quick thing, and this is just a reminder for everybody. This building will be closed Thursday for the flea market.
Okay.
So if somebody calls up here and can't get a hold of anybody, it's because there is no one here.
Okay.
So just wanted to remind everybody of that.
All right, thank you for the reminder, Greg. Dashawn?
Good morning.
Morning.
Item number 61 is the budget amendment.
I make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Number 62 is the approval of the general claims docket.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Motion Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Mr. Banks, take item 63, please.
Okay, item 63.
Right. The approval of the fleet corps claim docket for the fuel.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
You motion? Yo, you motion. Yeah, okay. All in favor?
Second.
Casey second. You didn't hear that?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Okay. Running line.
Nothing, Mr. Vice President.
Okay. Sheriff Rendy.
Just two quick acknowledgments, please, sir. DOC billing for the month of July of 2024 in the amount of $3,287.80. If we could acknowledge that.
Do I have a motion to acknowledge?
Move.
Motion Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
And then our statute required inmate feeding log for the month of September. I'll provide that to your clerk.
Okay,
Look
got a
at-
motion Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
That's all I
Thank you,
have.
Sheriff.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Okay.
Old business? New business? Do I have a motion to adjourn to October 21st, 9 a.m.?
Move.
Got a motion by everybody, everyone? So,
Second, man.
I think I heard Mr. Banks, and then I guess it's Mr. Griffin. So make a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Darren.
All right.